You're 1% better today than you were yesterday. Remember that. It's time to lock in before you tweak out. 2025, we're not playing no games. Lock in. You got this, girl. Don't let nobody tell you you don't have this. You are exactly who you think you are. And you're exactly who you're about to be. Clock that. For your blessings, for your miracles, for your blessings. Hey girl, hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Kennedy. If you are new here, hello. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, y'all. Today we have a video. I'm excited for the girls that are on the receiving end of this video. It's gonna be a great one. So if you haven't already, please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out any content we have on this channel. It's all about mindset growth, about just persevering through life and doing it together as a community. So welcome. As you can see from the title of this video, we are going to be talking about upping your value, just moving from your present self into your future self in a very strategic way. And if that sounds good for you, continue watching as we go ahead and get into how I did it and how you can too. Let's get started. So the first step into upping your value, just showing a new version of yourself to the world, to others, is to understand where you're at. It's very important to get real with yourself. It's time to get real. We're not fluffing it. We're not doing any of that. We're getting real. So do a self-audit, but let's be realistic though. Let's be so for real right now. Let's be for real. You need to look at what's not making you happy and then just seeing exactly where things should be improving at, if that makes sense, right? Look at what and who you're comparing yourself to, because we got to be realistic. We are comparing ourselves. When we want to go to another version of ourselves, we have to look at others for inspiration, right? For motivation. Look at what they're doing, and if that's what you want to do, start just making an audit of all the things in your life that just need to change, and then just all of the things that you are interested in, and then find out who you want to be and why. This is where you're really going to do your real life Pinterest board. Everything that you try to do for your vision boards, you need to be doing in real life. Take an account of the things that you have going on right now, because oftentimes when we're imagining and dreaming and creating and we're looking at things that we want, we often don't look at the things that we have right now and the things that we can change right now. So that's important when you're trying to grow, not only to look into the future, but also look into the present and really see what it is that needs to go right now. How I got to that point is that I saw myself hanging around people that I was becoming. I was like, there's no way this is real life right now. There's no way I'm actually becoming the people that are surrounding me, because that is such a real thing. When people say birds of a feather, or like the 5 people you hang around, they can tell you who you are or where you're gonna go. That is so real, and we often think that it's all fluff or like it's just a game. No, it's so serious. You are whoever you're around, your family, your friends, your peers, your coworkers, your colleagues. All of that plays a part into who you are right now at this current moment. Not saying this is who you are forever or who you used to be, but where you are right now, what you're indulging in is right now. And that's where I was. I didn't know who I was in the moment that I wanted that change. I was just doing whatever. It was no intentional things I was doing in that moment. I just always knew where I wanted to go. But you'll lose sight in that if you don't actually sit there and take into account what you're actually doing at this current moment. So go ahead and understand where you're at, get real with yourself, and then give grace, but be honest. You got to give yourself grace. This is your first time in life. It didn't come with instructions, okay? So you really have to give yourself grace and understand that it's okay to not know where you're at or what you want to do, but you just have to understand that this is where you're at. Look at where you're truly at, and it'll all fall, okay? And the second real life tip, because we're being real about life, we're being real about the tips. I'm not going to just tell y'all anything. This is real life, okay? Decide you are really ready for change. This is probably one of the most important steps in this whole process. And it's one that we often overlook, because we think that because we're watching this video, or because we've searched up, I want to change my life and how can I do it on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all of that means we're ready for change. No, you really got to make that commitment. It's like a commitment. It's like getting married. It's like starting school. It's like buying a car, buying a house. It's all of those commitments are very real, right? So why do we not treat our future like that, right? Why do we just say, oh, I'm going to start doing something, but we don't actually prepare. We don't actually commit. We just say we're going to do it and never do it. So decide that you are really ready for change. Dive deeper into your why and really get specific with your goals. You need to really understand the why behind everything you do. Now that you know what you're doing, you need to know why you're doing it. Why do you want to start going to the gym? Why do you want to start eating healthy? Why do you want to go back to school? Why do you want to start making content? All of these things have a why behind them. That is a whole PR movie. If y'all know me, y'all know I love PR, I love branding, all of that, right? That's something that we often talk about in storytelling, is like whatever you do, we tell stories all the time, guys, but it's a why behind everything. I don't just say I'm MissKennedyC and I make a YouTube channel and I make videos, right? I say I want to help other women with their growth mindset, with changing their lives, with seeing another version of themselves outside of their current situations. That's my why. So it's not just because I want to make videos and I want to be on YouTube or be on a platform. No, it's a real why. So dive deep into your why. Start figuring out where you went wrong and how you can avoid it again, y'all. That is so important. Be honest. I need y'all to be honest when we're doing this, for real. Be honest. Why did you choose to do what you did? Why did you end up in this position? How? And it may not be your fault, or it may very much so be your fault, but you really need to sit there and think about the cause and effect of to where you're at right now, where you're deciding to make this change, so that you can try to avoid it the best way you know how moving forward. Not saying that you're just going to never fail. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you don't have to keep being in the same cycles and keep making the exact same mistakes. That is what I mean. So look at exactly where it is that you went wrong, where other people went wrong. Did you hang around the wrong people? Did you have low boundaries? Were you inconsistent, right? Did you have a lack of confidence? That is very real. So you just really need to look inward and look outward to figure out where you need to do your change. Also, that's very important. So where do you need to do your change? And just replace the people. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's way harder to try to convince people that you're ready for change or that you're changing. Just replace them. That's a whole nother topic. Don't let that go over your head. All I'm saying is don't go back to your ex telling him that you're a new version and you're not putting up with the same stuff and expecting him to believe it. He doesn't know your new version of yourself. But we're not there yet. Bear with me. So for me, I realized that I really wanted to reach my potential. I knew at that point I had to stop blaming the people in my life that I was allowing to change me. I had to stop blaming my circumstances. I had to stop blaming everything, and I had to really understand that I was the only one that's going to help me reach my goals, right? Reach my potential. And I was tired of playing small, to be honest with you. I felt like it was so much more out of life, and why am I not grasping it? Why am I dealing with the things even though I am envisioning in a life that was way bigger than where I was at currently? So really just be so for real with yourself. That's the best way I can put it. Be so for real with yourself. Decide that you're ready for change. If you're not ready for change, that is okay. You can keep practicing and doing some of these things until you make that complete decision. But just this video crossing your timeline helps you in a way that you probably don't even see yet, because it's your subconscious that's ready. It's just the person you are right now. They're not ready, okay? So that's why I said give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up. If you're not completely ready and you may be afraid of that new version of yourself, that's okay. You'll get there. So number 3 is to write it out, lock in, start saying no. I like to call this the put, plan, and play, PPP. No, but for real, it's time to really write it out so that it could be measurable. We already got the idea of who we are, things that we're going to change, the things that we want in, the ins and the outs. We already kind of know that, right? Now it's time to really write it out so that we can look back at it later. It needs to be measurable goals. I don't want you to just be like, tomorrow I want to make $1 million. If it was that easy, that's all I'm gonna say. But no, let's seriously though, let's be for real and let's measure it out and let's really put this on paper. Write it down somewhere. Y'all like to use notes. I get it. I'm a notes girl. But when I tell y'all that a journal, specific notes app, I like to use Good Notes on my iPad. Use something where you can really like read. I need you to write it. Like, I don't really want you to type it. I really want you to write it. But if you need to type it, that's cool. I'm just saying it's a lot better when you just write it out. So write these goals out. Write them out. Okay. What I like to do is I like to do different types for different things that I want to write down. So sometimes I might do like my vision boards. I do Q1 to Q4. So mine looks slightly different between like January through March. It's going to be this. And then April through May. No, June. Y'all know what I mean. So I break it down every 3 months. It's different goals, right? Or you could also do it where I also like to do it based on whatever sort of goals it is. If it's fitness goals or physical health, I'll break down all my goals in physical health, and then I'll have like finance goals, then I'll have career goals, I'll have relationship goals. I don't know. You know what I mean, like aspects of my life, okay? A good way to look at it. And then just break down the goals and start building small habits to practice before making that full commitment, okay? When I say making the full commitment, I'm saying like, okay, I'm going to start going to the gym. Like, if you're not a gym girly yet, and that's okay. Don't let the social media videos and stuff convince you to be if you're not there yet, not saying that you won't get there. If you're not there yet, start small. Start walking in your neighborhood. Get a treadmill in a house, like something small, so that before you get to that full gym membership, that Equinox, that $200 gym membership per month, go small. If you need to go to Planet Fitness, go to Planet Fitness. Whatever you need to do, you know yourself, okay? Start small. That's all I got to say, okay? It's going to help way more in the future, I promise you. Start small. Start saying no to everything that isn't what you want, okay? Let me repeat myself. Start saying no to everything that isn't what you want. Because now that you've decided you're ready for change, now that you're ready for that commitment, right? Why would we not be going ahead and doing the things that we have decided we're going to commit ourselves to? It's time to start saying no to everything that's not, okay? If you want to start going to church more, you have to start saying no to partying on Saturday night when you know be out till 3 a.m. Because you know church is starting at 9 a.m. It's got one service, maybe two, but you know yourself. You need to give yourself time to get up. If you're out till 5 a.m., why do you think that you're going to make it to church at 9? Like, let's be for real here. So we have to like literally start saying no to everything else. That is the real boundary, guys. Boundaries are so important for change, okay? Now I had to live. My boundaries were so low, y'all. Build your boundaries back up, because the people will keep pushing. Situations will keep pushing until you do a hard no. I need a hard no from you, okay? Hard no to the club. A hard no to eating out every day, eating fast food every day, and you're trying to eat healthy. Hard no to spending money when you're trying to save. Like, we need hard no's. We're not playing small. Put plan into play. Yes, grace. Yes, we're giving ourselves grace, but we're also being real. Be real with yourself. Stop giving yourself room to make errors when you know yourself better than anybody. Start saying no. Guys, this step is very important because you just really want to create your small steps so that you can get your big goals, okay? So important, remember that, okay? Then lastly, we want to be slow and steady, okay? Start small if you need to. Start small. That's why I say it's very important to start small if you need to, just so that you can be consistent with this new version of you, okay? I don't want you to start making these steps and then you're doing the absolute most and you are like shooken with this new version of yourself that you can't back into your old ways. Like, gotta slowly start doing it, because this new version we want to be of ourselves, this value that we see ourselves, we know truly who we are, what we deserve, okay? Everything that we settle for and everything that we have right now is not going to be forever. We're going to continue to add value to ourselves, okay? You already are of value, okay? You need to start acting like it. I need you to do it small, though. I don't need you to just jump in it. You know what I mean? Dive deep into the water. I need you to start small. So that way, you're just building consistency. Because to be honest with you, most of the time that our dreams and all of the things that we want lacks consistency. And that's why we're not there yet, okay? Start small. It's going to pay off. And we need to replace our bad habits with good ones to get rid of that before jumping into something brand new. Y'all, this is a gym. This is a gym for adding value to your life. I know that we like to do new things, especially someone like me that has ADHD and that just constantly needs. I need you in that audit that we looked at, right? When we was talking about all the things that we want and all the things that I need you to replace the bad habits with good ones. So what I mean by that, let's say you have a habit of smoking and you want to get out of the habit of smoking, all right? What you need to do is, when you feel stressed out and you need to pick up your little joint, you need to pick up your cigarette, right? Pick up your vape. Start replacing it with other things, right? Instead of just completely cutting it out. So we want to really get rid of that. We want to stop smoking, right? But if you know you can't go cold turkey, what I need you to do is by replacing it with something similar but doesn't give you that same thing. So perfect example, and I know that this isn't going to be the best option, but this is just an option, okay? It's a placeholder until you finally get to that point. Let's say you want to stop smoking joints, right? There are options that you can still smoke, like a cigar, right? A little cigar, to where you're not actually getting the thing that's going to make you high. You're going to just be smoking. So not saying that's completely good, but let's replace it with something better until good is to stop smoking. But until we can get to the stop smoking, we need to replace it with something instead of just cutting it cold turkey. Because like I told y'all, start small. I don't want y'all to just start saying, I'm not eating meat no more, so I'm just going to jump into vegetarianism, not knowing anything about it, and just jumping in. I want to stop drinking, so I'm going to stop going from drinking wine every night to throwing all my liquor out and just never having a drink ever again. Let's be realistic. Like, this is a realistic thing, and I struggle with some of these same situations, which is why I'm giving you that advice as to starting small and to replacing, okay? So replace it. Even if you want to be vegetarian, slowly start replacing your meat with vegetarian options, like Beyond Meat, things that look like meat or might taste like meat, that might still be processed, but it still gives you that idea of meat. Like, I want y'all to be realistic and stop listening to the criticism, because people are going to criticize you. Well, you said you were going to stop eating meat. Why are you still eating plant-based meat? That's not even a real thing. It's still processed. Okay. You're 1% better than you were yesterday. That's all that matters. You're doing better than when you ate that piece of fried chicken yesterday. Even if you're eating little Beyond chicken nuggets, it ain't chicken, and you said you wanted to stop eating meat, right? So that's not meat. So you're still good, okay? So really just hone in on just replacing those bad habits with things that are just better, whatever that means for you, and just starting small and really working that way and keep the consistency. That's what we really want right now, is that consistency, okay? For me, I had to be very disciplined, remain focused, and keep my faith even when I saw no progression. And I use air quotes because you're always progressing. You're doing better than you did yesterday, regardless of how you look at the situation, okay? It's up for you to know that. It's up for you to believe that. And this is truly where your mental state is tested in this time, because you're either going to look at the situation in one way, or you're going to look at it in another way. You're either going to look at it like it's progression and it's the teachable moment, or you're going to look at life like, woe is me, why did this happen to me? Like, this is the worst thing in the world and it's never going to change. You don't want to have that second mindset. You don't want to have that, okay? You want to have the growth mindset, and this is what this channel is all about, because you're really growing. And whatever you do, even if you feel like you're going backwards, you might be going 10 steps backwards to go 20 steps and plunge 20 steps ahead, okay? You don't know the situation. Only God knows what is truly for you, okay? So while it looked like you might not be actually progressing or doing any movement, slow and steady wins the race. We know the tortoise, okay? Remember that during your journey. Be slow and steady. Even if you don't see progression, keep going. Even if you don't get the likes and the subscribers, keep going. Even if nobody's tuning into your new business or tuning into your social media, still keep going. Give yourself the little pat on the shoulder when things do happen, because all of that is important. Slow and steady wins the race, okay? I have some extra tips too that I want to share with you guys really quickly before we close out this video. So let's go ahead and jump into them. So understanding your value in every space, even when others don't see it. Y'all, one of my favorite quotes about value is that by the time you know your value, you're going to be worth so much more. And I really want y'all to sit with that. I truly want y'all to sit with that, because it's so real. By the time you know who you are, your value, what you could bring and offer to the table and to others, right? You're already so much further. This is just you implementing it. This is everything that you've been preparing for. You're just now implementing it, okay? So understanding your value is so important, because people will try you. That's why I said earlier, it's so much easier to get new people and get new friends around and get new relationships, because those old people just know a version of you that you're trying to get out of. And it's going to be hard. And not saying you got to cut everybody off, but I'm just saying you have to know your value, even when people are tempting you, even when people are saying, but you used to be this, you used to be that. Y'all, look at the Bible. Look at a lot of people in the Bible. So many people had to just leave. Even Jesus, he had to leave his hometown because people kept saying he's just a carpenter. How is he the chosen one? How is he the Messiah? He's just a carpenter, right? That's what I mean by that, okay? Realizing your value was always there, just a difference in how you present it now, and that's okay. Your value is always there. You always were this special person. You always were perfectly created in God's eyes. You always were exactly who you know you are deep down inside. The world changed you. People changed you. Situations changed you. Life changed you. Okay, you still have that value. You didn't lose that value because you were running the streets. You didn't lose that value because you were addicted to something. You didn't lose value in any of that. You just went through circumstances, guys. That's okay. We all go through circumstances. That's okay. So I want y'all to understand your value is always there. Even if you don't make a change today, you still have your value, okay? Loving yourself through every stage and every season is important, guys. Never forget that. You have to give yourself grace and you have to love on yourself through every season. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. It's going to be days you don't feel like getting up. And it's going to be times where you're thinking about giving up because it's so hard. Choose your heart. Do you want to stay in this position that you're in currently, or do you want your heart to be going somewhere in the unknown, knowing that it could be so much that comes out of it? It will be so much that comes out of it, and a lot of it will be good. So just know you can stay in your situation, but nothing stays the same. The only thing that is constant is change, guys. So I want y'all to really love yourselves during this time, because you're going to see so many versions of yourself. You're going to learn so many things about yourself you never knew. And no matter how old you are when you're watching this video, you could be young or you could be older. You're still learning yourself every day. You're never going to completely know yourself, and you're never going to completely know anyone. So give yourself that grace, okay? Just love yourself. It's so important. I love you. God loves you. Love yourself through every season, okay? Part of your life. This is your first time in life. You don't know any better, okay? I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. You got some tips from it. I didn't want to make it too long. I feel like it's kind of there, but it's okay. I just really wanted you guys to get some sort of value out of adding value to your life and upping your value, because you can do it. Don't let anyone tell you that you'll ever be exactly who you are at this current moment and where you were in the past, okay? You can be whoever you want to be. Okay, love you guys so much. If you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It will help a lot. And like I said, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel so you won't miss out on anything. Turn on those post notifications and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. All of my social media will be down in the description as well as on the screen if you want to add me on social media. I love you guys so much, and I will see y'all in my next video. Y'all take care. Bye.